It's time for that way too early NHL playoff prediction. Let's get right into it using tiermaker.com. So here we are, tiermaker.com, all 32 NHL teams. Yes, Seattle's in this as well. And we are going to rank them. We got Stanley Cup contenders, who's playoff bound, fighting for a playoff spot, outside looking in, and we want the number one pick. So I'm going to take all 32 teams and I'm going to go by their division. Okay, so this isn't ranking the 32 teams from best to worst. I'm going by their division. Here's a photo there. So this is the division that we're going to work with. So we'll start with Arizona. They're going to go for that number one pick. They have so many first round picks, second round picks. I think they're up to 8 already in 2021, 2022. They're loading up for this draft. And look at them. Look at their goaltending. Who do they have now? Your number one goalie is Carter Hutton. Yeah, their number one pick. Chicago, Marc-Andre Fleury's there. They're not going for the number one pick. Taze is back. Kane's going to be Kane. DeBrinket's going to be DeBrinket. I think for Chicago, they could be fighting for a playoff spot just based on Marc-Andre Fleury. However, the defense, even with Seth Jones, it's still a big question mark to me. And within their division, I think it's just too difficult. I think they're an outside looking in. Colorado, obviously, I'm just throwing them right up to the top. Stanley Cup contenders. They don't have Varlamov, but I think they got the better goaltender in Darcy Kuemper. If he can stay healthy, they're Stanley Cup contenders. Donskoy not having them, that's rough, but they can fill it in. They got Alex Newhook. Dallas Stars, yes, the team went to the Stanley Cup final 2 years ago. Just like this past year, though, just like the previous years, they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot. In NHL, they're a fantastic team. They're there. Minnesota, same thing. Kirill Kaprizov, he's gonna help them fight for that playoff spot. But because of this division, because of Dallas, because of Minnesota, it's going to be tight. So I have them fighting for the spot. I don't know if Cam Talbot can do what he did again last year. Kaukonen, hopefully he can do well. Nashville went on that run last year to make the playoffs. This year, I don't see it. I see them on the outside looking in. They're going to try to move Duchesne or Johansson, someone. They lost Arvidsson. They got rid of him to LA. They're obviously looking to rebuild. They're on the outside looking in, but they're not at that number one pick yet. St. Louis, I like the look of the team. I do like it. If anyone's seen their Winter Classic jerseys, it is lovely. I think they're playoff bound. They are playoff bound. Binnington will be great again. He'll probably try to fight some people. Winnipeg Jets, from this group, Connor Hellebuck, Kyle O'Connor, Scheifele, Wheeler. Pierre-Luc Dubois, he's going to be better this year as well. I think they're going to be playoff bound. I do. I think their defense is going to come together as well. I think I like their chances. Remember, only 4 are going to make it. We got the Anaheim Ducks. Next, we got the Anaheim Ducks, and they want the number one pick. They're probably going to trade John Gibson. They're just going to do the full rebuild. They got some young guys. They only signed Getzlaf to a 1-year deal. Raquel's probably going to move on as well. He's going up there. They're just going to try to regroup. Calgary, for them, to be fair, if it wasn't in this division, they'd be on the outside looking in. But with this division, it actually gives them a chance. And I think they're going to be better than they were last year. I think Markstrom's going to find his footing. I expect more from Gaudreau and Monahan. And this is kind of like the last hurrah. So they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot. Edmonton Oilers, they're playoff bound. 1, Connor McDavid. 2, Leon Draisaitl. Big question mark for me anyway is that goaltending again. LA, because of the group, I think they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot. I'm really excited to see Byfield jump in there. He's going to learn from Kopitar. You got Arvidsson now. I like the makeup. They did all right. They got Cal Pedersen. They got some young guys coming in. And Drew Doughty played great last year as well. I expect him to do the same. San Jose, they're fighting for the number one pick. Looks like Hurdle's going to be gone as well. Aiden Hill's better in goaltending than Jones, but still, what else is there? What else is there? It sucks. They're not looking good. They got some good players, but no. Seattle, I think they're going to be outside looking in. I'm going to be cautious. I'm going to be cautious just like I was with Vegas. They could be fighting for a playoff spot. You never know. Their goaltending that they got, Drieger, Varlamov, it might work out. They got some good guys. I just see them as the outside looking in because you got a team like Vancouver, and I think Vancouver's more suited with this group to do better than someone like Seattle. Bo Horvat is coming into his own. They're going to sign Pettersson. I think Demko's going to take a big step forward. Hughes is going to step forward. And Vancouver has a shot. They'll be fighting for that playoff spot. And then we got the Vegas Golden Knights, and they're Stanley Cup contenders. Even without Marc-Andre Fleury, they got Robin Lehner. Last year, they disappointed against Montreal. They should have been much better, but they're playoff chokers. They're still Stanley Cup contenders, just playoff chokers. Like I said, Seattle could move in, could move out, but I have them on the outside looking in for now. And that's where I've got it for this group. So, next up, we have, what are we going to do? Let's do, Boston. Boston, Stanley Cup contender. I love the Allmark pickup. I really do. I think he's going to be great. Even if Rask comes back or he doesn't, he said he'll take a cheap deal. Imagine Allmark and Rask together. Boston, no matter what happens, they're Stanley Cup contender. Buffalo, you're trash. You are trash. You're going to be trash. Number one pick. You're probably going to move Eichel. You lost Reinhardt, etc. Detroit. I love the makeup of Detroit and what they're doing, but I still think they're about 2 to 4 years away. They're going to be the outside looking in, but they will be competitive. Florida Panthers, I want to say they're playoff bound. I do. They're a good team. Goaltending, question mark with Spencer Knight, Bobrovsky, but they've added some good, you can call it depth, expensive depth. I don't know, but I like what they've added. But with that division, there's some very, very good teams all fighting for that, I would say, 3-4 spot. And Florida is going to be right in there as well. So should they be playoff bound? Yes, but because of this division, fighting for a playoff spot. Montreal, in my eyes, are the same as Dallas Stars. Even if Price doesn't start, they still got Jake Allen. You don't have Weber, but they got some young guys to fill in. They lost Kotkaniemi, but they've added Dvorak, who is just a bit more experienced. So they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot. Ottawa. I want to put Ottawa fighting for a playoff spot because I really think they're going to be close. But by the tail end, they're not going to be able to catch up. It won't be that final fight. But like Detroit, I think they're ahead of Detroit. I would say on par with Detroit. They're going to be a fun team to watch, a good young team. Sign Brady Tkachuk, please, Ottawa. I like that you went back to the 2D jersey. You're a darn good team. Outside looking in. Tampa Bay. Back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, Stanley Cup contenders at the top, easily the number one team. Toronto Maple Leafs, like Florida, like Montreal, Toronto's going to be fighting for that 3-4 spot. I expect Florida to get that 3, and I think Toronto is going to be in that 4, 5, heck, even 6 range, because it wouldn't surprise me if Ottawa went up in there, just because they can catch some teams. Toronto is a good team. I like Mrazek. They are a good team. They should be a good team. I mean, they were a good team last year, and it all faltered. Defense was good. Offense was good. It just dried up against Montreal in games 5, 6, and 7. Like I said, Montreal could drop down to outside looking in, but just because of what they did last year, they're fighting for a playoff spot. Leafs, I like your goaltending, what you've done, the duo there. Bring it on. Next up, we got Carolina. They're playoff bound, even without Dougie Hamilton, even without Nedeljkovic. Changing your goaltenders. They're going to split Bernier and Anderson. Kotkaniemi coming in. They're obviously going to sign him longer term. He's not 6.1 million. He'll be around 3.5, 4.5 maybe. Maybe be the Nazem Kadri deal. But they're playoff bound. They're very, very good. Columbus. I love your goaltending duo. I like Werenski. Maybe not defensively, but offensively. And I think Line A is going to have a bounce back year. Domi will have a bounce back year. Tortorella's gone. But I still think you're going to be going for that number one pick. I do think you're a lower seeded team. I just can't see it. Islanders, keep adding depth. Just signed Parise as well. You were already going to be a Stanley Cup contender. Now you've added a bunch of other players. Got Palmieri back again. I'm sure Zajac will be there. Parise. You're basically the 2000 New Jersey Devils. Speaking of New Jersey, outside looking in, just like Detroit, just like Ottawa, I think New Jersey's just a couple years away, 2 to 4 years away. They could be fighting for that playoff spot, but I think by the tail end of the season, they're going to be on the outside looking in. New York Rangers, they're ahead of New Jersey. They're going to be fighting for a playoff spot. I'm not going to say they're playoff bound just because this is a very, very good division. Just like Tampa Bay's, they'll be fighting for a playoff spot. Shesterkin another year will be great. Philadelphia, same thing. I actually like the moves they made. It cost quite a bit. Ellis there, Ristolainen, I think they'll be nice. Carter Hutton's great. I don't think Martin Jones is the guy to have as his backup, but we'll see what happens. It used to be a number one, but they'll be fighting for a playoff spot as well, just because of their depth. I also like Cam Atkinson. Pittsburgh, I'm not going against Sidney Crosby. He's playoff bound, no matter what. And I think Jarry's going to bounce back. Same with Washington and Alex Ovechkin, playoff bound. This is who I think Stanley Cup contenders, playoff bound, fighting for a playoff spot, outside looking in, and we want the number one overall pick. These are the teams that I've selected. Feel free, I'll add this link into the description down below on YouTube and make up your own. Let me know what you think if you were to do this, where you rank these teams. I'm assuming no one else is going to have the exact same as me. Like I said, Calgary could be on the outside looking in, but it's based on their division. Seattle might be up. LA, Vancouver, Calgary, because of their division, that's why they're fighting for a playoff spot. In any other division, they're probably outside looking in. Maybe a team will surprise me. The team that might surprise me, Chicago with Marc-Andre Fleury. Ottawa might surprise me. I think in the end, they might end up being better than Montreal. Heck, they could probably give Toronto a run for their money. Who knows? I'm excited. I want the NHL season to be back, and it's almost here. Let me know down below your thoughts on this. Who you think is going to be Stanley Cup contenders, and who do you predict to win the Stanley Cup? As of right now, it wouldn't surprise me if Tampa Bay did it again. But off the top of my head, I'm going to go for Long Island. Lou Lamoriello and the Long Island New York Islanders. That's it.